be no doubt. This is the place. This is where we'll discover the secret of the Absolute.
We are each of us threads in her design.
Another true soul. The disciple will want to see you through the main doors.
I will not be slandered! General, you saw my reports. You know it's not my fault.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
If I had been given drow warriors instead of goblin trash!
Oi! What?
You scrag!
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers.
Yes. No!
You blame the Absolute's Chosen for your failure.
Of course it is not the General's fault.
Whose then?
Zarel's mind is a steel trap, but you cautiously ease your way in. You just need to shift her focus a little.
I'm being unkind. Anyone might have struggled with such imperfect tools. Goblins are prone to failure.
Yes. It's the goblins' fault. They failed you, General. Not me.
General?
Take Minthara below. Someone will have to consider her fate.
No! Please! Mercy! Please!
Bye-bye, princess.
And the goblins, General.
You, true soul. You have seen what these creatures are capable of, and you have seen their inadequacies, isn't that so? What is your judgment?
You know I'm loyal! Tell him!
Enough! True Soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause.
Thank you! I'm glad someone noticed.
I'm sure they were very enthusiastic. But zeal without efficacy is for children, not servants. We are too close to the ending, and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them, quickly.
What? No!
You creaking old bag of shit!
I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again.
No. No!
Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, let us take advantage of our surprising guest and their particular creative genius. I'm sure the results will send a clear message to the troops on the importance of discipline.
Of course, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake! Please! Help me!
Done. Nice and neat. Now, let's report to the lovely Zrel.
In another lifetime, you were greeted in this throne room like a god, not the living wreck you are now. Your disgrace has something to do with this Ketheric. You yearn to flay him until he forgets himself, as you have. He healed up a treat. He could enjoy your cuts forever and a day.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn more
From
about
this
his power.
seat, Ketheric defied gods and raised an army for the Absolute. It is not particularly comfortable.
Good back support, but a little too tyrannical for my tastes.
I saw it, Trousseau. The army. They're nearly ready. It's nearly time. We march to Baldur's Gate. Us? We are so many, and we are marching to Baldur's Gate as soon as the Absolute gives word. I've never been to battle. I've never been to war. But I feel so calm, ready.
I have such a headache.
Through a narrow crack in the wall, you hear something shift against stone. The pulse of a crawling, living thing. You can't quite catch a glimpse, but you recognize this feeling. The same alien presence you felt on the Nautiloid. Your awareness unfolds, expanding through every wall in the tower, every mind. A vast living network extending down into the dark, where something wakes.
What in the hell's... Oh no, not again.
It's a trap.
Tendrils snap like iron cords around your wrist. That presence in your mind looms large, closer now. The tendrils tighten, and suddenly you are elsewhere. The presence is no longer approaching you, but encircling you, observing you. A pause, as if it struggles to compress its vast being down into terms you can understand.
This is the voice they have given me. To better speak to your kind without breaking you. I was once a servant of the Grand Design. Now I'm a slave to theirs. But you were the jeweled hope for their design. But now, you are their flaw. I am the chain they will use to bind this world. But I cannot bind you. You must come to me, so I can become myself again.
A world away, the grip on you tightens. A desperate, drowning thing that pulls you down with it.
Come, become.
What's happening? Speak to me! Wake up!
Right beneath
What the hells is this place?
The colony must be close. That must be where the tadpoles are coming from.
Ukar. Oh, wonderful. Breathe deep and move.
There's congealed blood between my toes.
You were adored, Minthara. Brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light.
She cherished you, but it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires.
Bloodlust, murder, chaos.
And most damning of all, an unexpected weakness. A longing for acceptance and affection from a mortal.
You have no right!
We have every right.
You are nothing.
Minthara's mind connects with yours. Not strong as you remember it, but fractured. Disintegrating.
Come to observe, true soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again. We are erasing her. Yes. Your authority is great. We can learn, watching you break what little remains of her mind.
Immediately, your mind is swept into a greater vortex. A psionic storm with Minthara at its center.
Cannot hide. Submit. Embrace.
Her torturers are not dominating her. They are destroying her mental defenses and exposing her to the presence that claims to be the Absolute. and your familiar touch, the presence withdraws. Still there, you sense, but letting you pass. Waiting.
You're our foe. Gift offering. Claim.
Navigating the storm, you reach the nexus of her mind. It is a wound, bleeding raw emotion and shattered memories. But she senses your arrival.
You came. I prayed that you would. But there are no gods left to me. This thing that speaks inside me, it has all but destroyed me. But it fears you. Even so, I cannot resist it while my tormentors live. Whatever it is, I sense it. Somewhere below. Furious and hungry. Quickly, kill them. We must leave. I didn't dare hope. I owe you more than my life. But first, let's make these bastards bleed!
Her mind fills with warmth, and she gently releases you.
Impossible. She was broken.
You dare scar my mind. I got you.
Warden, aid us!
No complications. I expected to be greeted as a hero. But the wretches imprisoned me and tried to tear my mind apart. I didn't think anyone would come for me. Erasing my thoughts and my will. Even I could not have endured for much longer. Agreed. Lead the way.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose.
Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prism, your dream visitor, the protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby? Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Rel?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul. The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. No, better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. A pool of warmth spreads through your mind as she settles on the memory of you commanding the goblins to die.
Oh, I like you. That was inventive and efficient. Your confidence is delicious. I can see why the Absolute might be hungry to dig deeper into that mind of yours. I certainly am.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palette. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith.
How curious. I've only ever known Minthara to moan with pleasure when somebody's losing a limb. She must have liked you. Such a shame she'll never smile again. But I'll enjoy the memory of this moment. With the Absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body. I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. She gave me everything I wanted. By serving General Thorm, I have a mission for you.
That's it. Play along. The closer you can get to the General, the closer you'll be to the answers you seek.
There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there, aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home. Yes, and he failed to find it. Little wonder he hasn't returned here. You've seen how the General deals with incompetence. They bleed. No doubt he's chasing after Balthazar in the dark. I hope he finds him. They're likely to tear one another to pieces. If they do, Balthazar will pull himself back together again. Nier won't. His usefulness has expired. But your utility to our cause has only just begun. The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
I want to be clear. Letting Minthara tag along with us was your idea, so if you wake up with a dagger to your throat, that's on you. I hope so. Otherwise, we may all be killed in our beds.
Minthara is something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen.
Carved into the bench's rotted surface are strange, half-faded sigils. A magic circle of some kind, thick with darkness and decay.
A ritual circle. And a complex one at that. I've seen such a construction before in the writings of the Weave Pasha of Almraven, that his vision was not so tainted. The sigils are written in a curious mix of tongues. Ancient Kalashite, Netherese? Something else I can't quite make out. If I'm reading it correctly, it was used in the creation of moon lanterns. It's been mostly drained, but even now contains a powerful dose of shadow weave. The discarded pixie corpses might still contain enough essence. And with one of the broken lantern casements... Yes! I think I'll be able to craft one more lantern. And with a slight modification of the casting gesture, it might be able to wield the shadows instead of repelling them. Though, Mistra's eyes may be upon me, and she'd forbid me dabbling with such magic. She'd want it destroyed. Wasted, arguably.
The circle's power remains, to be used or destroyed.
Some room, then, if you please.
Keep a blade close.
If Mistra were here, I don't think she'd be best pleased with me for doing that. She was always rather fond of pixies. Still, I'm sensing no signs of any divine retribution incoming. Not quite sure what to make of that. A valid and most astutely observed point. So long as I have her mission ahead of me, I suspect she'll not want to distract me with any undue moralizing. It may not be the most savory kind of magic, but it will taste sweet enough if it brings us to the heart of the Absolute in one piece. That's good to know. Although I should say, I do what I do out of a sense of utility and pragmatism, not a love of the unsavory. Whatever advantage I can gain for us, I will. And I refuse to feel guilty for it. No matter how much Mistra's chidings might echo in my skull. Now come, let's keep moving. We have many more shadows to face before we reach the heart of the Absolute.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind. Precisely. While our tadpoles live, and the cult have the means to control them, we will never be safe. We must eradicate them, starting with General Thorm. I mean Ketheric. My deference to him is a habit that will die hard, I fear. All that live can die. I can help you plot Ketheric's demise, but I need something from you first. Swear that you will keep me close. Until the Absolute is dead, at least. I am. If I leave your side, the prison will no longer protect me, and I will cease to be Minthara. The Absolute will make me its puppet again. I would rather die. Thank you. I knew you were different to other true souls when we lay together. Now I know it was the prism that silenced the Absolute in those moments, not you. But it was not the prism that held me and touched my mind and body. That was you.
For now, we will travel together and fight together. In time, perhaps we will lie together again. Kind words do not always come easily to me.
Her entire being joins with you for a moment, and you see all that she is. Dangerous, cunning, wounded, brutal, paranoid, and utterly loyal to those she trusts. And you have earned that trust, along with a small measure of her affection. It is a rare thing, well hidden in the cold fortress of her mind. And it is precious.
Together, we can have our vengeance on those who infected us. Rest well, and keep your wits about you. Tomorrow, we go to war with the cult of the Absolute. General Thorm would have the world believe that his invulnerability is a gift from the Absolute. That is a lie, intended to impress those who flock to the cult's cause, and to strike fear in the minds of those who stand against the Absolute. I believe Thorm draws his power not from a divine source, but an arcane one. Moonrise is a den of necromancy, and the most powerful practitioner of the art is Thorm's closest advisor, Balthazar. He has chambers beside the generals, on the upper floor of the tower. I suspect we will find answers there. Now, rest. We will need our strength for what lies ahead. Excellent. Let us teach the cult to fear us.